Alright guys, what's up? It's Jack and welcome back to another video. And right off the bat, I gotta ask you guys to kind of pay a little bit more attention than usual in this particular gameplay because, well, it seems that ever since this update, or maybe a day or so after this update, or just, very recently, I've started noticing a little bit of a difference in the hitreg / netcode, and unfortunately I always keep it real and I will continue to do so. And so far I have to say that it's taken a turn for the worst, and I want to know if you guys have been experiencing the same thing because, well, I've played this game a lot, right? I'm a level 268 or something like that in this game, and quite frankly, this is quite different. And if you notice in the gameplays to where like I completely drain like these other people's health bars or whatnot, and there's like a delay of when they actually die, you know what I mean? And I've even experienced in the previous game the same exact thing, but the desync being worse, because I'd be around a corner and behind a wall for like a second and a half, and then all of a sudden I die. And to the best of my memory, it wasn't a cleaner that I died by, because with the cleaners, in terms of their passive ability, they can do a little bit of extra damage way after the engagement or whatnot, so you still drain health. But this wasn't the case. So, and I decided to go and check my internet, and my internet connection was just fine. And then the gameplay that you're seeing now is what follows like right after checking my internet connection. So I know for a fact it's not my internet connection. Despite whatever the game actually might say to me, I did a speed test, my internet connection was fine. And I've got the best internet I can possibly have for the provider that I have. It's not fiber optic, unfortunately, and I'm just kind of waiting for them to upgrade to fiber optic, but it is what it is. And when that happens, you can bet your ass that I'll be getting fiber optic. I want my upload speed to be what it is now, which is that, but I want my, I want my upload speed to be as high as my download speed, right? Because my download speed is a gig, but my upload speed is definitely not close to that. So, but which is why I upgraded to the highest tier in the first place, so that way I can get a little bit more upload speed because of just in general for content creation and streaming whenever I do stream. So I want to know, like, obviously the hitreg and desync and netcode has been a subject of it's been like the #1 topic of this game ever since the very beginning. Actually, ever since before the beginning, right? Now, obviously, over time, for the most part, they've actually made what's it called? They've actually made a lot of strides towards the better in terms of my experience. But right now, it just feels like that we've regressed, man. Ever since this update, it feels like we've regressed. And I just kind of wanted to talk about it because, again, I know players that can deal with other issues that a game has, whether it's a lack of content, whether it's a few weapons being cheesy here and there, or whatever the deal is. But when it comes to things like hitreg and netcode and stuff like that, it is an automatic deal breaker for them. This includes players of really high skill as well, or even anything related to netcode. Like, I remember in Black Ops Cold War, there were a lot of PC players that didn't play Black Ops Cold War, particularly the mouse and keyboard PC players, that were legit players that did not cheat. A lot of them skipped out on Cold War because I don't know if it ever got patched or not, but or if it took a while or whatever the deal is. But with Cold War, there was an issue with the mouse and keyboard side of things in terms of like the hitreg or something like that for mouse and keyboard players. So ever since they found out about that, they just basically stopped playing the game or just didn't play it at all because of the fact that they just didn't want to be at a disadvantage. And I can't blame them. There's a lot of times nowadays in games to where I actually feel for the mouse and keyboard player. I know a lot of people will hear that and be like, Jack, don't feel bad for mouse and keyboard players. They have an advantage because they're on mouse and keyboard and blah, blah, blah. And let me tell you, man, it's not the way you think it is, especially when you look at most games today, the aim assist being as strong as it is in most games today. It just really, again, as someone who back during the Black Ops Cold War days, I actually played on mouse and keyboard for about 6 months. And I dedicated my time to that. I played, single player games and multiplayer games on mouse and keyboard. And one thing I can tell you is that, if you expect every single mouse and keyboard player to be like someone that's close to like what Shroud is able to do, you are definitely mistaken. Mouse and keyboard players, there's definitely a skill gap from mouse and keyboard player from one player to the next. Unfortunately, also, PC is just known as a platform to where cheating originated from, et cetera, et cetera. But, obviously on console now, unfortunately, it's become more sophisticated in that era as well. with what you can do with cheats nowadays. Unfortunately, you know, from everything I've seen in different videos and stuff like that, it just continues to my jaw continues to drop in amazement of how people can just cheat all the time and just like enjoy it. I'm like, I don't know how you can enjoy it. You know, I can understand playing a single player game like during the old Game Genie days for the Genesis and the Super Nintendo. There'd be a Game Genie thing to where you can input cheats in terms of having more lives or being invincible for single player games, etc., or enabling things that weren't in the game in the first place, which is pretty damn cool. But that's different. When you're talking about multiplayer shooters, that is a completely that's completely different, man. But yeah, I want to know in the comment section down below, like, have you guys experienced, changes in the hit reg for better or worse? I mean, right now I'm looking at like the regular menu screen, for XDefiant right now, and I'm not in a game, and yet there are, there's a few times to where I'm getting the red, the red light bulb symbol, or the square with the X or whatnot, the yellow square with the X on the top left hand corner of the screen to tell me like the connection is off or whatnot, and the connection is not off. So it's definitely something server based, you know what I mean, or something that with the game, at least with my experience, because there's, again, like I said, I checked my internet and my internet was just fine. So but I want to know in the comment section below if you have been experiencing such a thing as well. And hopefully the devs will be on top of this. And again, when Season 3 comes out, or right before Season 3 comes out, probably when Season 3 comes out, it's going to be a big update in terms of the content that we're going to get. And of course, it was said by Mark Rubin, if memory serves right, that the netcode should feel significantly better by the time Season 3 hits. And I think this is one of the reasons why the devs have been so quiet as far as the XDefiant side is concerned, because quite frankly, let's be real here, this is Season 3 is a big one for them. It really is. And they know that we know about the leaks and rumors, and quite frankly, so far everything that has been reported by the legitimate leakers and rumors or whatnot, and it's not just one person, but like so far everything has come true. And if you're looking at the distant future of what XDefiant is thinking about providing us, there's a lot of really cool and exciting things to look forward to. However, for a lot of people, if you have hit reg issues that are just ridiculous, then that is a big game changer for them, to the point to where they're not going to touch the game. That's just the reality of things, and that's just the way things are. But I really would like to know from you guys in terms of your experience ever since the launch of this particular season down below, in terms of what you think. And I know that there's people out there that are just, they just hate XDefiant, and they're always going to say things are bad even though they're not, or whatnot, or exaggerate things. But I'm talking about like legit players that actually play the game and will speak the truth, as opposed to just speaking out of hate. Like, what is your experience ever since in terms of netcode, in terms of this recent update? Let me know down in the comment section below. And as always, thank you all for taking the time to watch and or listen. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.